Talking about the analysis in the New York Times this morning, there was an article written saying that President Trump is getting what he wants from these clashes in Los Angeles over immigration and immigration raids. Why? Why does he feel that way?
President Trump is deploying 2,000 National
Let's watch
Guard
CNN fake news.
amid protests over his immigration raids. Just the latest huge development in a week that saw the president having a big falling out.
Everything's negative.
The person who was his closest
according to CNN.
Political ally, the richest man in the world. Here with me now is another Trump close ally, Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma. Senator, thank you so much for being here. Starting with what's happening in California.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. The last time the National Guard was federalized was 1992 during the LA riots. Then it was done at the governor's request. In fact, the president hasn't unilaterally.
Well, when you have a governor that's an idiot that don't know what to request, then the president has to take charge. They don't even know to get help with water. So Gavin Newsom, or Gavin Newscum is what they call him, is what Trump calls him, is all about one thing, his image. And that's all he cares about.
Federalize the National Guard since LBJ sent troops to Alabama in 1965 to protect civil rights marchers. That's according to the Brennan Center. So my question for you is, why does this situation justify the president bypassing California's governor?
Because they're burning the city down.
Well, you got two issues here. You have a very weak, lawless, bleeding governor and Governor Newsom.
That's right.
Who's not enforcing the nation's laws. And then you had a Biden administration for the last 4 years that didn't enforce our immigration laws, which is why we need to pass this one big, beautiful bill so we can secure our border and focus on getting these illegals out of the country. Regardless of what they may be doing right now, they entered the country illegally, and therefore they are illegal, and they are criminals, and they need
Talk to them
deported.
like you're in kindergarten.
I don't know why a governor would want to try to protect illegal activity inside his state, and the president has made it very clear. If the governor or the mayor of the city isn't willing to protect the citizens of his state or the city, then the president will. The American people elected him to restore the law and order back to our streets, and that's why murders are down. That's why people are optimistic today about the future of our country, and that's why we need to continue this step by passing one big, beautiful bill.
Senator, the LA County police say that they have it under control.
But they don't.
And Governor Newsom says
sending
National Guard.
Right?
Governor Newsom says that the National Guard, at least sending them, is purposely inflaming and will only escalate tensions there.
Well, words are cheap, especially when you got video. And so you asked me, did it look like it was or I'll ask you, did it look like it was under control? It doesn't. It is absolutely not in control. You saw rioters throwing rocks, throwing fireworks, being extremely aggressive towards not just federal agents, but even the county and the local PD that was there. So does it look like it's under control? Absolutely not. The difference between what you're seeing during the riots back in, 96? I forget what year
92.
that was, to what we are today. 92 to where we are today is that the governor was actually working with the president of the United States. Now you have a governor that isn't. And once again, California became basically a sanctuary state, and the American people don't want that. And that's why President Trump is pushing really hard for us to pass this bill, because it will secure the border and we can start deporting these illegals. I mean, think about this. They were literally out there protesting, carrying a foreign flag. That is absolutely insane. I mean, they're not just peaceful protesters.
Exactly.
These are illegals. These are exactly why the president is trying to secure our border.
All right. Well, carrying a flag is not illegal, as you know. And I just
CNN is the most fake news that there is. Scott Jennings is the only one on there that I ever see that tells the truth. But you can see this Dana Bash is disgusted by this guest, the senator from Oklahoma, and is trying to argue with him at every point. And she has no point. He has the facts. They're protesting with a Mexican flag. LA is a sanctuary city where they've said all the illegals can come here if they want to. Well, that just makes it easier for the border security to find the illegals. Just go to the sanctuary cities, and that's where you're going to find most of them. Let's see what else she has to say.
just want to be clear.
I just want to be flag while you're attacking law enforcement. It's pretty bad.
That's a different question. So. But I just want to just state for the record that what did happen in 1992 was so different from what we're seeing now. I mean, that was a real riot that went all across the city of Los Angeles after.
Okay, well, they're trying to prevent that from happening. You don't want it to get to that level before you stop it.
A verdict in the Rodney King case. This is a situation where the LA County police,
Dana,
it's not good, but they're saying that they have it under control, and the president is sending national troops.
Dana,
they said they didn't need water either.
We can look at this
until it started burning down.
See that it is not under control. It's not under control. You and I both can see that it's not under control. And a riot is a riot. They're throwing all types of objects at law enforcement, and the president is absolutely right. I can't say this enough. This is why the American people elected President Trump, because we are moving in the right direction, and we are laser focused on continuing to do that, and that is why we want to pass this big piece of legislation that is going to move the American people even farther down the track and getting us back on track and getting us away from the disastrous policies of the Biden administration.
So let's see how the American people feel about immigration. This is a recent poll.
Talking about the analysis in the New York Times this morning, there was an article written saying that President Trump is getting what he wants from these clashes in Los Angeles over immigration and immigration raids. Why? Why does he feel that way? With us now, CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton. So let's unpack that a little bit. The issue of immigration. How is President Trump seen as doing on that?
Yeah, you know, if we just take a look at the baseline numbers here, this is Trump's net approval rating on immigration. It's gone up like a rocket. Compare now versus 8 years ago during Trump's first term. Look at this. In his first term, Trump was way underwater at minus 21 points. But look at this. He's up over 20 points. Now, in the aggregate, he is in positive territory at plus 1 point on his net approval rating. Some other polls even have it a little bit higher than that. There is no issue on which Trump is doing so much better than he was in his first term, more than the issue of immigration. No wonder the Times has written up the way that he is. Trump is begging for a fight on this because he knows what he's doing so far is working with the American electorate.
Where does immigration rank on issues for him? How is he doing compared to others?
Yeah, so I think what's so important is it is his top issue so far. And the reason it is his top issue is because take a look at the individual nuggets in here. Why are people approving of Trump on immigration, approve of these different immigration actions? Well, Trump's administration's program to deport those here illegally. Look at this, 54% approval. How about agents searching your hometown for those that they think are here illegally? Again, positive.
So in this poll was done, it says on June 4th through June 6th. So what the media tells you is the complete opposite of what the people want. The people voted for this, and that's what they're getting.
Territory here, above 50% for Donald Trump. So it's not just on the broad issue of immigration where Trump is doing well. It's on the specifics. When you dive into the issues, Trump is above 50% and his actions are above 50%, at least with those most directly connected to what's going on right now out in Los Angeles.
So Donald Trump, the president, picking a fight on this, and to an extent, you see Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, a Democrat, and the California Governor Gavin Newsom pushing back. So what do voters see in terms of their perceptions of Republicans, the president, or Democrats, say Gavin Newsom, on this issue?
Yeah, the American electorate believe that the Democrats don't have a clue on the issue of immigration. I mean, you could just take it here.
This guy is always pretty good. I don't know how long he's going to last at CNN, but he tells it straight. Let's see what he says on this.
Closer to trust more in immigration, Democrats versus Republicans. Got 3 different polls for you across the board. They all tell the same story. Republicans lead on the issue of immigration. You see it here, CBS +6. You see it here, CNN +6. You see it here, Ipsos, even bigger, +19. No matter what poll you look at, no matter which way you cut it, the American public is with the Republicans, the American public is with Donald Trump, and to a much greater extent than they were in term number 1. And it's not just on the broad issue of immigration, it's on the specifics as well, in which the American public is with Donald Trump and the Republicans. And that is why Donald Trump is eager to take on this fight and eager for those scenes out of Los Angeles.
I was just going to use that word eager. This explains some of that eagerness to push forward ever more on this as it escalates. Harriet, and thank you.
So, guys, when you hear people say how bad it is in L.A., how horrible Trump's doing for what's going on in L.A., it's all Trump's fault. Just remember, the American people are behind him on the issue of immigration. Now, it may change. The more the news pounds Trump's bad, Trump's bad, Trump's bad, it may change. But As of right now, the American people want illegal immigrants removed from this country. All right, if you like the content, click here. There'll be some more, and we'll see you next time.